What's up guys, DuArktik with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video I'm angry. I'm so upset about Forge. Oh my god, I'm so disappointed. This was a character that I was looking forward to have in Marvel Strike Force for a very long time, and surprise, surprise, he comes to the game and he's the biggest disappointment I have ever seen, and I'm very frustrated about it. It even ruined my Alliance day of raids, because we were not able to use the Extreme X-Men with this character. We are better off using Archangel with Apocalypse than using this mofo. And then it revealed how bad the Extreme X-Men as a team are. And even with Sunspot, some people are saying that, oh, Sunspot is gonna fix everything. It's not gonna be the case. When you understand how the team works, I think you're gonna be pissed off as well. But this time we cannot even blame the envoys, because it was actually mentioned by some of the envoys that the team didn't felt good, and that the team at low power, they don't perform very well. It seems like this team has to be very big, like absolutely big, in order for them to be any kind of good. But we're going to talk about why Forge is so bad. We're going to take a look at some gameplay of him in action, and then we have to see why exactly this team is so bad. Like, what's the mechanics behind this team that make them work so poorly. So with that in mind, as always, if you find information on these videos helpful, make sure you share the video with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button like a boss. Okay, so first off, the team is not, they are made for raids, right? But they can be used elsewhere. But we'll see that with some of the mechanics, they just don't make any sense, and that's why it's so disappointing, because it really makes you wonder. This is a brand new team, and if they are struggling right now with the content that they are supposed to make for, to be made for, like, is this going to be better for the next raid, or what's the goal of this team? So first off, we have the 4 Extreme X-Men characters. We talked about Nightcrawler multiple times, he's pretty great. Gambit is also pretty decent. And then we have Cyclops, that we cannot use his ultimate, otherwise Cyclops cannot do anything. He's just spamming basics, and you guys know I hate to spam basics. Any kind of character that just spams basics, it's absolutely trash. So the only way we can play with Cyclops is not using his ultimate. And with Forge we have a similar scenario. The cooldowns for the ultimate of Forge and for the special are so long that you cannot play with this character properly. Now, in terms of the special, with the Sunspot, yes, you're going to be able to get some energy, and you're going to be able to use that special more often. The problem is that both the specials for Cyclops and the special for Forge, they are absolutely trash, like absolutely dog shit abilities. So with Forge, he copies one positive effect and attacks one adjacent target, and then he spreads positive effects. Like, okay, so when are we supposed to use this ability? Are we supposed to use this ability after the ultimate of Forge? Because that's the only occasion where it makes sense, but it doesn't even extend the positive effects. The character that extends the positive effects is Nightcrawler. So, like, I don't know, this team doesn't make any sense. Then the T4 for Forge on the special clears heal block. This team never has heal block. First off, they have immunity all the time, then they have evades all the time, they have deflects all the time, they have defense up all the time. So what's really the purpose of clearing the heal block? It doesn't make any sense. And when you get heal block, we usually also get trauma, which is a big deal. Then we have the passive of Forge, and this passive is absolute trash. It's so bad. In theory, it sounds good, because every time Forge has a turn, he's going to make a new invention, and depending on which invention you get, Forge is going to get different abilities, and some of these abilities can be quite good. So the reticle is going to give additional 25% crit chance. That's very good. Then we have on X-Men ally turn is going to attack the enemies. That's also good. That motivates you to get up the character more. And then we have on attack, we apply vulnerabilities to all targets. You know what's the problem with this? 100% RNG. You know what's the second problem with this, even bigger than this one, is that Forge is so slow. Oh my god, it's so terrible. Even with speed up at 98 speed, it's just so slow compared to Dead Seed or any other characters that we had in the past. It's dreadful. It's so frustrating to see these characters in action. It's really terrible. And then we have to remember that with Archangel, we were turning winding the enemies by 25% per kill. And with Dark Beast, you are getting 50% more speed on top of the speed up that you already get. So you're going to get or 200% speed up or 175% speed up. We don't know for sure. We never made those calculations because it was never necessary. We just knew for sure that the team was fast as hell. With the Extreme X-Men, we don't have any of that. The maximum speed you can get, so you can get the typical speed up and so on, but the Nightcrawler, on the crit of Nightcrawler himself, he gives 10% speed bar to the allies, and these abilities usually only trigger one time. So even having your Nightcrawler as a raider is just not enough to push this team forward with these characters. Now, with Sunspot, supposedly is going to give speed bar to the allies. Supposedly, we have not seen this in action yet, but. If you are relying so much on Sunspot, I'm not sure. It's definitely a problem for this team. And I actually don't see anything on his kit that says that he gives speed bar. I think the speed bar is coming from Nightcrawler, but so where is this? I don't even see this information. So where is the speed bar that we are supposed to get? I don't see any speed bar here. So no speed bar here, no speed bar here. So is the speed bar supposed to be just from Nightcrawler? Because Nightcrawler does not give that much speed bar. And once again, you're gonna take a look on crit of himself, I assume, fill the speed bar or by 10% for this car and the X-Men allies. Fill the speed bar by 30%. When this character drops below 30% health. So where is all the speed bar that we saw on the developer's video? I don't see. I'm sure I remember seeing the characters getting like 25% additional speed bar and the enemies also getting speed bar. I don't see any of this speed bar in action. Is it on Forge? Nope, it's not on Forge. Is it on the special? Nope. It's not here. So I don't know what happened with this team, but this team is dreadfully slow, super frustrating compared to Dead Seed. Once again, they would get 50% more speed thanks to Dark Beast, and they would get 25% turning wind from Archangel on each kill. Other problem with this team is that as I mentioned before, but you need to explain the mechanic behind it, is that they rely on these massive cooldowns, 10 energy cooldown, 8 energy cooldown. This is absolutely ridiculous. And this is only going to work if you can one-shot the enemies, because Sunspot, when he spawns, is going to give energy to the allies based on how many charges he has. So you have to save the charges from one node to another in order to keep this team working properly. The problem is that on the first node, we don't have any charges. It's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. We don't have any charges on the first node, which is a huge problem. The first node is one of the most difficult nodes that we have in the game right now, which we can beat with Archangel and with Apocalypse. So do we even need the new team? Probably not. So we have this massive first node difficulty that we have no charges on spawn. So your characters are not going to start with full energy like Gambit, like Cyclops. And then after you get the energy, after you use your ultimates, you can use your ultimates one turn per node. It's that crazy. And then you have to pray. You really have to pray for Sunspot to have as many charges as possible. So then you might have the chance on the next node to use the ultimates again. Does this make any sense? it's absolutely dog shit. And this means that yes, the team will be very, very good if you have all the characters maxed out. But if you have a middle of the range team, the team is not gonna work because they just don't do enough damage. And after they do their ultimates, if they fail to kill the enemies, they're going to get absolutely destroyed. Other problem with this team is, of course, the lack of piercing damage, because someone said me in the comments the other day, and it's true, the developers think that Cyclops laser blasts can melt steel walls or something, and he can't. He can't do that. It's not Superman. It's Cyclops. It works a little bit different, and that's the problem with this character. He doesn't do piercing damage. None of these characters do piercing damage, and because of that, once again, the smaller they are, the less effective they are. So you really have to push them to gear tier 18, all of them, 70 all-stars, 7 red stars, diamonds on everyone, for this team to work properly, because otherwise the team is not going to work properly. And once again, we bring back the question of the longevity of the team. What's the purpose of this team? Is it supposed to be a raid team that is going to be replaced in 5 months? Or are we supposed to use these characters for Alliance Wars and Cosmic Crucible? I don't have any problem for that. Like, I love using these characters in Alliance Wars and Cosmic Crucible. But when you are selling me something, saying that it's going to be a raid team, and I have better performance using Archangel and Apocalypse, then what's the purpose of buying this team for? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so absolutely, this team is absolute dog shit. Once again, massive cooldowns that you cannot get energy reliable enough to use them. The cooldowns themselves and the abilities are not powerful enough to like obliterate the nodes unless you do massive, absolutely massive investment. And this is why they gave you the free diamonds for Cyclops, because you would be super disappointed with the performance of this team. And then it's just the unreliability of the passive of Forge. If you guys want, I can tell you how to fix the passive for Forge. Hire me as a developer consultant, and you're gonna fix all of these. But the passive of Forge is so unreliable that once again it completely cripples the team. So for example, if you get DuArktik turn 1, great, that is going to increase the output damage of the X-Men. But if you get the other one, the rifle upgrade for the vulnerabilities, it's absolute dog shit. So there we go. The team is all over the place, with full of flaws, and I really don't recommend this team. Be very careful when you are going to invest on them, because yes, it seems like you need them, but to which degree, or which is going to be the end game. This is pretty much like Pegasus when they were released before the reworks. Before Pegasus had 4 reworks, it was pretty much like this. Absolute dog shit, and we have the same thing again. Okay, now let's take a look at some gameplay, because I'm telling you all of this, and I hope you are understanding the mechanics, but let's see it in action so you can actually see how bad this is. Okay, so this was from yesterday on my live stream. I unlocked this character, I took the character to gear tier 17, and then we went to the raids and we went to try them out. Now, of course, you might have to use the full team for it to work, but let's be honest, with the Pegasus team, even with 4 members, it was enough. With the Bifrost, even with 3 characters, it was enough. So I was expecting something on the same range. Even with Invaders, they were working fine with not a full team. It's not the case. You guys remember when Kraken America was released? The team was good right away. Nick Fury, Kraken America, it was working. It's not the case with this team. So we were talking about the different abilities that we have with Nightcrawler. That is the one that gives the speed bar. Once again, it seems like the speed bar is only 1 time per turn, and it cannot match to the same degree that Dark Beast gave speed and that Archangel gave Turning Wind on the enemy. So here we go. We're going to take 4 Extreme X-Men plus Apocalypse. Is there a better 5th? I don't know. I tried Apocalypse, I tried Rogue. Then we have another problem here. The enemies, they have deflects, and the enemies have evades. So if you don't crit with Nightcrawler, you are not going to get enough speed bar. It's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. So the mechanic for you to get speed bar is using Nightcrawler, but then you make the enemies full of deflects where you cannot crit, so that is going to stop the speed bar from Nightcrawler. It's absolutely ridiculous what we are supposed to do here. Okay, so we managed to kill the absorbing mana. You can see that Quicksilver is just destroying my characters. I'm just praying over and over again for Apocalypse to take a turn, so maybe I can delete some of these enemies that we are facing. Here we go with Apocalypse, but now he's not going to be able to delete Quicksilver. Okay, there we go. Now we have to use the basic and the ultimate of Nightcrawler, just because I'm afraid, like, what am I going to do? I had to use the Cyclops ultimate because I'm afraid. I have nothing else. It's like do or die. You really have to obliterate your enemies before they obliterate you. And if this is the way the team is supposed to work, it's not a good team. It's absolutely not a good team. It's a type of glass cannon raid team, which is not good. We see with Pegasus. The Pegasus is the complete opposite. The Pegasus is a tank. It walks over everything, but this team is absolute glass cannon, and if you fail to kill your enemies, you are pretty much dead right away. Okay, so you can see that even using all the cooldowns, we are struggling, really struggling to get the cooldowns back and to finish off the enemies. The damage is just not enough. And this is where the Sunspot is going to help, because he's going to give 75% more damage to the team. And we can see why. But the problem is that if you increase damage so much, then we have the problem that we don't have enough energy. Did we got enough charges in order for Sunspot to give us enough energy for the next node? I'm not sure about it. Okay, so we are back for the second node. Once again, we are going to use the same team. I apologize for that break, but as you guys know, we are going to Blitz session. And here we go with Nightcrawler. I use his ultimate to apply slow to the enemies. Guess what? None of the slows landed. It's crazy. So the ultimate supposedly of Nightcrawler has 500% resistance. I'm not sure if I did the ultimate or the stun. Maybe I did the stun instead. It didn't land the stun anyway, so maybe I should have used the ultimate for the slow. But I'm trying to get speed bar on Cyclops so he can use the ultimate. If he has enough energy. Does he have enough energy? Probably not. So with Forge can give charges to Cyclops. The problem is that it's on a 10 energy cooldown and we cannot use it. So as it seems, I used the stun rather than the ultimate. One way or another, it doesn't matter, because we cannot get across those towns. This is a big problem with the team, is that without Sunspot, we are always stuck behind towns. It's so dreadful. Like I was saying, this team is so frustrating. It's really so frustrating to use. And the only hope is really to just ultimate with Cyclops and hope that your Cyclops with Gear Tier 18 and with Diamonds is going to be enough to kill the enemies. So as you guys can see, without Offense Up, which is a mechanic, it's a buff that this team doesn't have without Sunspot. Once again, another major flaw. Without Sunspot, no Offense Up, so the damage from Cyclops is going to be super mediocre. What is Forge even doing? Like, we don't get a crit chance from his passive guaranteed. It's only luck based, and then we don't get Offense Up on during the match. What is this? Like, this is so trash. I really cannot understand what these developers are thinking. The team is just so unreliable. Once again, it's a glass cannon type of team for raids. Are you kidding me? It doesn't make any sense. They are better for Dark Dimension 6 than they are for raids. So I don't know what to think. Okay, so now I was trying to use Rogue instead of Apocalypse, because as you guys saw, without a character that has a taunt, they were attacking Forge, they were attacking Nightcrawler and killing all of them at the same time. Once again, we used a special. This time we were able to use the stun. And I'm not using the ultimate of Nightcrawler because I know I need to use that ultimate on the boss node. And I just don't have enough energy to do that. So it's really embarrassing. This team is so frustrating to use. I really don't know what the developers are thinking. It's just so bad. Once again, making a glass cannon raid team is the worst idea you could ever make. Now, we can also take a look at the charges right now that we are facing on the enemy. So we have one charge on Red Hulk, we have no charges on Spider Weaver. So this means that your Sunspot is going to get a total of 1 charge, 2 charges maybe. These together with the ultimate of Forge, maybe you're gonna have enough charges to get like 2 energy on your team. So is this the way that the team is supposed to work? We have only a few characters with charges, so I don't know. What are we supposed to do? It just feels so weird. Like, honestly, this team feels so weird. The mechanics feel so weird. You can see that their Nightcrawler with a bunch of crits. The speed bar is just meaningless because like 10% is literally nothing. So or it is 10% per crit, or it doesn't matter because it cannot match up to the speed that Archangel and Dark Beast would give to us in the past. So there we go, we failed with Apocalypse and now we are failing once again with the Rogue, and we have to go back to Archangel and Apocalypse to be able to do this properly. So there you go, guys. The extreme X-Men are extremely disappointing. I don't know what else to do. It feels so frustrating to use these characters, and it kind of felt nice with Cyclops. It was, let's be honest, it didn't feel nice. When you cannot use the ultimate of Cyclops to guarantee that he has enough energy to the special, that's bullshit. When you cannot use the ultimate of Gambit because you might need it on that one specific time that you really need because otherwise you are going to be compromised, that's bullshit. Like, this team is the absolute dog shit in terms of raid teams right now. When we have Pegasus and we also have Bifrost, they get energy all the time. You can spam, you can literally spam the abilities of them. We also have Val with her ultimate of 10 energy. You can use 2 times per match. This one you have to save the ultimate to use 1 time in 3 nodes. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is so frustrating. I really don't know what these guys are thinking. Forge needs a rework. We need to have a similar mechanic to Squirrel Girl on his passive. Whenever a character drops below 25% health, 75% health, or 50% health, he gets speed bar. Then we need to get guaranteed crit chance on his first turn, then the vulnerabilities, and then the other attack. That's fine. He needs more speed bar. The team needs more speed bar. We cannot compare this team to Dead Seed. It's absolutely ridiculous, and we definitely cannot compare them with Pegasus and Bifrost as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be aware that this X-Men team, at least until we have Sunspot, and even after Sunspot, the team is not that great, and you might get more value with them in Alliance Wars and in Cosmic Crucible than you are getting with them right now. So make sure you check out my other video where I made a guide to use Archangel and Apocalypse together with Cyclops, Gambit, and the Nightcrawler. And for now, use that team because the rest of the team is not that great. So that's all for now, guys. If you enjoyed the information on this video, make sure you share the video with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Mouse Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.